usually properties and Airbnbs in the jungle are surrounded by barbed wire and fences. They're really cool inside, but like you really need a key. Here I am scaling a fucking wall again, and
a barbed wire.
And well, I had enough length to get over the barbed wire and to hang around
6'2", girls.
So I'm literally dangling over the barbed wire, and the Airbnb manager comes out.
Yes, that's all.
He's like, what the fuck?
What's up, bro? You're tuning into Once Upon a BNB, and we're back with another episode. I'm Anns.
This is a BTB episode in terms of when we recorded it. The listeners
Because we have
probably
on the same clothes.
Yeah, well, I took my beanie off because our guest today, who I guess you're going to get to in a second, his name is Joel, has a beanie on, and, you know,
You didn't want to match.
one beanie per
I've
crew.
just been wearing this for a week, so.
It's cold out there. It's cold out there.
Yeah, all right, I fucked it up. Start over. Okay, let's try it. Run it back, Annsleigh.
Hey, y'all, I'm Anns.
And Ian.
This is Maha and Janet, and we have a special guest with us here today. Joel, welcome to Once Upon a BNB.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I can't wait to share my story with you.
We got two J names, Janet and Joel.
Joel and Janet.
Here we are.
In the flesh. Okay, so do you guys' head get cold, even though y'all have a lot of hair?
Did you guys meet because you go to the same barber?
It's actually pretty funny.
How do y'all know each other?
Yeah, we've never talked about this since it happened. But, all right, the way we know each other is I went to Marist, he went to Auburn with a guy I went to Marist with. And so after college, we both moved into the same adult frat house.
Yes.
Adult. Very adult.
You would have lived in a fucking adult
Right
frat
after
house.
college.
Well, it's not, defined adult frat house. It would have been this, yeah.
It was basically an adult frat house in the middle of Buckhead.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
But you asked the barber situation. We'd never shared a barber before. And then he randomly hit me up, it was like 2 weeks ago. I had to get
Yeah, it was last week.
2 or 3 weeks ago. It was right before the national championship. I also...
Go Dogs!
He went to Auburn. Boo.
Ooh.
Oh, number one in the country now in basketball. Hashtag
now we care
basketball
about
school.
basketball.
Yeah, I care a lot about basketball if it wasn't a national champion Georgia Bulldog, but I digress.
You know.
All right, so...
Anyways.
He hit you up.
Yeah, he hit me up, and I was like, what are you doing now? I'm like, not anything, but just heading to Buckhead to get my hair cut. And then,
Oh my God, I didn't even know that, and I totally foreshadowed the haircut thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I was like, because I have to meet Shavi's mom on Sunday, and then he's like, I also need a haircut. And we met at the salon.
Shut up! Oh my
Yes.
God, did I just totally... I'm a psychic.
That is so
Janet gives
fun.
me
This is just not
That's
a normal salon, too. I mean, I'm talking, there are people smoking
The
blunts
fact that
in
y'all call
here.
it a salon,
There are
first of
people
all.
drinking beers.
Is that what it's called?
A barber! Y'all are men!
No, we were
But
the
they get their hair washed.
No, trust
Their
me.
hair washed.
Actually, your hair, yes, it's a
All right,
salon.
let me back up a little bit. Shout out to @BlondeBar, but I met
That's
this guy.
what it's called.
He goes to a
All right.
salon called Blonde Bar.
And I'm
They
not
both
blonde
do.
for our listeners.
It's
YouTube.
dirty blonde.
Is it a dirty blonde?
I was born blonde.
Of course.
I mean,
Yeah.
This thing
yeah.
has chandeliers hanging from the ceiling.
I mean, of
All
course.
right, here's how I know
It's
this
a
guy.
salon.
Back in the day, I was friends with this girl. That's another tangent I'll leave out. It's not important. But we met at defensive driving class. Anyways, so she invites us.
Unrelated to any crimes.
Me and we just moved
Nobody
into this
died.
apartment complex. I guess Joel wasn't a part of that, but me and Joel just moved out. I moved away from Joel, sadly, and into this apartment complex. We have no furniture. She came over and had this guy cut her hair. She's like, "Can I have this guy come over and cut my hair?" And then she warns me that he's gonna be very awkwardly talking about very toxic, chauvinistic stuff about all these girls he fucks, but he's obviously
Super gay.
yeah.
Flamboyantly.
And then sure enough, he's like, "Yeah, man, I get to snip on my hair."
I love breasts so much and how they feel like sandbags.
What? So she cuts his hair. I became a client from this, and then when I'm at the house, Shavi's passed out later on, and then he hears him "Yo, my girls would be into you," and then she's like, "What?" And I wakes up. That's this guy.
Now she
anyway,
talking about her
but he
sleep.
also is very talented. He cuts my hair well, I think.
So it's the same guy that cut y'all's hair.
Well, for the
first time.
yeah,
For the first
he's been
time.
cutting my hair for years, and then Joel's
But
like, "What are
this
you
is your
doing?"
first.
Yeah, so because I
Yeah,
saw...
let's see it. Take
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
beanie
let's
off.
Shake it out. Shake it out. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's so
Yep,
cool.
so-
Good head of hair.
For our listeners, you're dropping panties right now.
No, I figured before I go bald, let's see what I can do with this. Let's
Are you
grow it
gonna
out.
for sure go bald?
One day.
I mean, not everybody does.
One
It's
day,
hereditary.
probably. But yeah, never grew up my hair. The pandemic hit. I was like, listen, I can't even get my hair cut if I tried right now. So let's just grow
So
this
let's make
bitch
it a
out.
look.
Yeah, so we hung out, like got our haircuts together, and then went home. We didn't go to the
At the
get drinks
salon.
afterwards. We just like went home.
That was
Very
that was the whole
adult.
I think I
hangout, was the
still
haircut.
owe you like $30 on Venmo
You do.
for the record.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, 37 actually.
The little extra 0.45. Did he charge on that on Venmo? Like if you did? Okay,
I don't know.
sorry.
My Venmo has been blocked because
Yeah,
I fell
mine's
for a
been
Venmo
blocked too.
scam.
I never
blocked
use it.
three.
I never.
What?
I
All
never
three
used
of
it.
us?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
never
accidentally
had
fell
my
for a
phone
scam.
stolen, and we can record a special episode afterwards about what happened to my phone.
I thought that was going to be part of this episode.
No way, Joel. All right,
Episode.
all right.
All right, Joel. So
Back
y'all,
to Joel. You're off the hook.
y'all
On
got
the hook.
shampooed together.
Oh, we're back to that.
Well, I mean, we're actually. I mean, how do you wear your hair when you travel? You said this is your first time. That was
Yeah,
me
so
segueing.
I wear it up. When
In
I'm
a bun?
traveling.
A man
I wear
bun?
it in a man
Yeah.
bun. It's a man
Done
bun.
it? No,
Yeah,
have you man bunned?
yeah.
Do you use hair ties yet?
I do
Oh,
not
so you
use
man
hair
bun.
ties.
Oh, you just
Oh, you
twist
just
it in
twist
and of
it in?
itself.
Yeah.
How's your you got long hair and you haven't hair tied?
Wow.
I honestly,
It's that long.
I
You don't
can't.
even need a tie.
I don't know how to hair tie it.
Also,
I'm not that good yet.
Ian can
I've
teach
had
you.
my hair
That's
for
way
like,
less difficult than tying it with your own hair.
oh, that's where someone else comes into play.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah, you don't
I
do
feel
it,
like
okay.
I feel like the girls like the man bun. Have you seen a response?
They do. Well,
You gotten way more pussy since then.
it has been a hell of a pandemic for me.
Pussy-wise, it has been a hell of a
It's been crazy. It's been a pussy pandemic for me.
It's push and pee.
I mean, we are in the A, and we do things a little bit differently than the Northeast and the West Coast. So
Where are you
We're
from?
I'm from Marietta.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, Morado.
Yeah, I'm in the East Cobb suburbia area,
Okay,
Cobb
cool.
County. Count on being busted, y'all.
Yep.
So all these crazy
As we drink
trips.
beers.
Hopefully you weren't busted. What's one of the crazy experiences?
Oh,
you
actually,
had?
foreshadowing. I think probably.
Is this a host story or a guest
I have
story?
I've definitely run across some policia in my time. It's usually more of a shakedown than a processing thing. So
Wonder why.
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you have to honestly, like,
Let's
just
be
like
nice.
living in Cobb County, you can't travel without a little extra pocket cash for the policia, honestly.
That's a fair statement.
So, yeah, I've got some crazy stories. I think
Lay
for
one on us.
now, we
The
are talking about the
craziest.
pandemic. It's September 2020. Everyone's starting to break out of their fear shell
cabin
of the
fever.
world.
Especially in Atlanta.
Right. They've been out of that shit.
So me and one of my homies, Mike,
He's too hungover to be here
he's
today.
too hungover to be here. It was a crazy night last night, but yeah, I'll take care of it for both of us. We decide
Till you're apart
we
and
decide to go to Tulum because the flights are ridiculously cheap at this
Oh,
time.
really?
They're so cheap. Round trip 137.
Oh, that's crazy.
Pesos?
Is this like Spirit or?
This is Spirit, so
You know, it's
you
Hey,
got
there's a little thing called Spirit First Class, and you get the big front
He's
seat.
a pro.
Yeah, it's still he's a platinum member of Spirit
Oh,
Airlines.
God. Well, we
I'm not
gambled.
proud of it.
We rolled the dice and we went Spirit. and
When? What day was this?
This was September. It was
Okay,
actually
September 2020.
Yeah, it was like September 11, 12-ish.
So
I
my
remember
mind
because
started
of
thinking y'all
September
did this
11.
last night.
Because
I
I
was
forget.
Yeah. So this is, and it's a great time for everyone out there listening. It's a great time to travel in September, especially south of the equator. It's just for whatever reason, I've found that September is a
I
great
guess because
month
of
to
opposite
It's
fall, right?
Well, and it's right
Which is
before the
spring? I don't know.
holidays,
What's
so
opposite?
like tickets are cheap because like everybody's waiting to travel the next month or two.
Exactly. But here we are in the pandemic and it's September and we're like, fuck this. Let's get out of here. Let's go south of the border.
What's up, world? Make sure you tune into Once Upon a BNB to interact and listen to all the wildest, craziest, and weirdest travel stories. And of course, for me and my other two lovely hosts, Ian and Maha. Make sure you like, subscribe to Instagram, YouTube, and all streaming platforms. And we'll catch you next time.
Tulum is hot right now.
Tulum's hot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Hopefully,
calling.
is it? I don't know.
But I don't like to go resort style. I don't like the Cancun or the Tulum all-inclusive resort where you're
Tulum doesn't
tied
have too
down.
many like all-inclusive.
They
resorts,
don't. They're
so,
very
but-
boutique-ish, and that's why we wanted
there's
to
no
get
high
down
rises
there.
really. It's all like boutique like hotels.
But still, when you're in that really nice boutique hotel, you're still kind of like everything's taken care of for you, right?
I've only done Airbnbs in Tulum.
Right, me too. So Airbnb is the way to go with a rental car, in my opinion, and that's what I do.
I rented a car for $1.89 a day in Mexico because they were trying to make the money off the insurance. They're like, yes,
Like 20,000
$1.89,
pesos.
but the insurance is this much, and I was like, I don't need the insurance. My
this
car
the time
covers
when the
it.
car
So
got-
I literally got a car for under $2 a day in Mexico.
This not the time when the car was wrecked.
No, that's another time I rented a rental. I wrecked
In Mexico?
I wrecked it. I broke the radiator, and it was like $2,500 supposedly. Even though I'm sure in Mexico is way cheaper than that. It was Tulum actually.
Interesting. What about the deductible?
Yeah, so I wasn't actually the one that rented the car. So they were just like, I had to pay whatever they said because that guy wasn't going to argue with them because I'm the one that wrecked the car.
It's that shakedown.
Right. And they're like, oh, it turns out it's $2,500 US to fix this radiator. I was like, in Mexico? Right. But
Yep.
I had to pay it, so.
So you got
So-
yeah.
Without these horror stories, it's usually a good idea to be really free and rent a car and be able to do what the hell you want to do. You know.
How
So-
long is this Tulum trip that you do that? What's your
So this is we got there for the round trip was a week. So
There you go.
it was 7 days.
Tulum? Like Shafi wanted to go to Tulum, but I at the time worked for the man and had to deal with PTO, so I had to be like a long weekend. And I'm like, it's 2 hours from the airport. No, you
You
can't
could
do that.
definitely do a long weekend. And
You can.
Well,
It's
Joel
just
It's
did.
like an hour and 30 minutes.
I was like, I'm only going to Tulum if I'm going for it a week, you know?
Actually, the last time I was driving to Tulum, I got pulled over by the police. I guess I was speeding or something, and they tried to shake me down, and I negotiated it down to $20. I was like, look, I got $20. Fucking take this 20, let me go.
Exactly.
They're like, all right.
So you
They
don't.
tried to take my license.
you
They're
don't
like,
put-
nope, you got to give us money or I'm not giving you your
That's
license back. I was
crazy.
like, dude.
That's perfect. So you don't put all of your money in the same spot. You have a little bit of money for the policia, and you have all of your other money
For
hidden
the prostitutes, yeah.
for everything else, all the other
And the
extracurriculars
drugs,
in Mexico. So rent a car.
Pharmacia.
Don't be scared. It's honestly great highways. Once
It's an easy drive.
yeah.
So, yeah, you taking
It's
the
an
open
easy
road
drive.
from the airport.
Open road from
Airport,
Cancun,
excuse me.
and bypass Cancun immediately. People do not go to Cancun. They're so much better. It's called
Cancun
Playa
is
del
like
Carmen. and
MTV
Tulum.
Spring Break. Woo!
Yeah.
Playa de
where I
Carmen,
went.
that's like halfway to Tulum.
Halfway to Tulum. So
Yeah.
this is the authentic Mexico. This is where everyone works and spreads out to go to work, at the resorts in Cancun, Tulum, all the cenotes around.
That's what I did. I rented a car and just took myself on a cenote tour and went to all the cenotes.
What does cenote mean for the people who
Cenote.
are not?
It's like a big
Underground.
basically.
It's an underground river that runs the whole
That's where you went in October. To
the
Playa del
whole
Carmen.
length of the Yucatan. And sometimes there's holes that expose this underground river.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
And it's like caving.
So,
But it's fresh water,
everyone
so-
see
You
it with
jump
me.
and you jump into it.
It's just like a big swimming hole, and you can scuba dive in there, and there's like all kinds of things to see. But like you think, like I remember when I like first jumped into one, I'm thinking like the ocean, salt water, floaty. No, it's fresh water, so you don't really float at all. You're pretty much like you got to swim the whole time,
I had on
and
my
it's really
vest.
cold, even though it's warm outside. But
It's a beautiful experience.
it's gorgeous. But
So all the cenotes, there's tens of thousands of them. There's a few famous ones that the tours will take you to. You have a rental car, and you can do a cenote for $20.
yep.
Just show up to the
And then the rental
spot.
car was $1.98.
Yeah,
so-
mine was $7 a day. Honestly,
Yeah, they're so cheap.
during the pandemic, it was $7
Just
a day.
opt out of the insurance because your credit card will cover that anyways, or your own car insurance at home.
So
Lawyer.
always get a rental car. We end up
Just got
spending
lawyered.
a couple nights in a skyrise Airbnb on the top with our own infinity pool and grill looking over the city of Playa. And when we arrive, it's it's a very modern apartment and everything's there. The water is filtered even for you, and
Because don't drink the water in Mexico.
Exactly.
Thing.
so, and the fridge water is always filtered.
Yeah.
So we spend a couple days in Playa, and we get the authentic version of the food and the drugs, and you can't walk to the beach without getting accosted. Honestly, about if you're
I don't know
a
how
tourist,
authentic that experience
if you're a
is.
tourist,
Sounds
but
pretty touristy.
no, but. That it's very touristy walking to the beach just because everyone calls himself Pablo and everyone has,
Sure seem to be a lot of
Cocaine.
Pablos here.
The best you will
The
ever
best.
find.
So
At the best price.
we found this system out that they all want to give you a taste, right?
Oh my God, you did the Costco.
Yes,
We did the Costco sample tour of Playa, and by the time we got to the beach, we were
It's like, I don't know, I think his was better. Let me
Lit.
try yours again. Let me see.
we
I
were
don't know.
lit.
Now
I
I'm
might hit
thinking
up
yours
the
is
food court
better.
next, and then I'll circle back to Sam's Club.
So yeah, if you play your cards right, you don't even have to buy drugs. And you can just
So
get
we're
lit
lit
to the
as a
beach.
motherfucker, back on the road.
So yeah, you only want to spend a couple days there doing the Costco's experience. At some point, it's
The
going to catch up.
Costco's
It's going to catch up to you, and Pablo's
Right.
going to
Now
want
I'm
some fucking money.
cursing the fuck
That's
out.
Kirkland. That Kirkland liquor. though,
On to
that
Tulum
shit
we
hits.
go, right? And I start actually driving like a Mexican, and I'm like, oh, they just go around these speed bumps, and they go 140 kilometers and not
That wasn't
60
racist.
Yeah,
kilometers
wasn't
an hour.
racist.
We were all like, yes. Are we about to get canceled because of Joel?
But isn't it weird
They
how
are
just
definitely
saying
called
Mexicans
Mexicans in Mexico.
Yeah, they are actually Mexicans, but like it's weird that the word Mexican has become like racist.
The weird,
but,
the
like,
weird
that's
part
just-
was how do they drive? Did he explain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is how they drive.
Yeah, they drive like we do here in
So fucking
Atlanta.
woke.
Go to sleep already.
They basically drive like we do here in Atlanta. Crazy as fuck.
Right.
But
Don't go to Egypt. You'll have a heart attack.
same with Lima. All right, I digress. We're in Tulum now, and we're staying in the jungle. So if you have ever been to Tulum, there's Tulum Beach with the boutique resorts. You got Tulum, the city, which is really cool. And then on the outskirts of the city, you have this new development into the jungle.
That's where all the Airbnbs
That's
are.
where all the Airbnbs
That's
are
how I
ripping
wrecked the
in.
car, because the roads aren't paved. It was dirt roads with all these potholes.
The
and I fucking
craziest
slammed
driving.
into
Monkeys
one
and
and broke
jaguars.
the radiator.
Big cats, big potholes, and
So
yeah.
what type of animals did you see? Did you see real animals?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of snake and reptile.
You said big cat. I'm like, oh no.
No, we didn't see the big cats. I think that's like a
It
tourist
means
thing.
actually cats.
There
like
are
house
big
cats,
cats.
but big ones.
No,
Oh,
there-
you meant like tigers.
there's jaguars
Yeah.
in this forest, but I think all the signs you see on your way to Tulum is more for like the tourist
Yeah.
experience, you
It's
know.
like, be careful. There's
Yeah.
jaguars and lions and bears. Oh
But
my.
I will say, you go far enough into that jungle, and you're gonna,
Yeah.
you might find a big cat. So
That seems so nice and tropical.
it is. The
Yeah,
mosquitoes
it is. You gotta
don't
be
fuck
okay with
around.
bugs, though. You
The
gotta be okay
mosquitoes
with
don't
bugs.
fuck around.
Right.
They actually leave blood marks on you, like, and you feel them every time.
Biggies.
But that's
you should
only
check out my
that's only-
episode about Achin's Brazil when I got eaten alive.
Oh wow!
Link in the
I
podcast.
bet.
Comments.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tulum gets nasty with mosquitoes. That's only during sunset, basically, and they're not bad at the beach. Love Tulum. So the Airbnb we're staying at has its own cenote.
Oh my
All these log cabins.
God.
There's
That's
like
amazing.
they're called zapatos, or these little log cabins
shoes,
that
I
are
think, right?
around the cenote.
I feel like it
That's so
does.
cute.
And it was quite special. Like it was a sweet loft style Airbnb, all wooden, like
Swag.
teak wood inside, and it was nice. We did meet a couple of English teachers in Playa.
Oh.
Oh, these
I
are
forgot to
What
tell
a
you guys about
coincidence.
that.
British
Professora.
teachers
The
or-
chicas,
People
they
teach
told us
English.
where to get the good tacos, and then we said, we're staying in Tulum. We're talking about the best tacos, the authentic tacos.
I'm still confused.
Yeah, the question has not been answered still.
But continue.
Both.
And I'm both.
So,
Yeah, this nice English
So we
teacher's
do-
like, I know where the best pussy is.
so we do meet these ladies at a bar in Playa, and they were cool, and they spoke enough broken Spanglish with us to know that we're staying at the Zapato Lodge, and Tulum. So they were down to meet up with us, and they did, and that was
They were the tacos. Plot twist.
that was a good experience. They had to teach in the morning, so
5
they were
stars.
out the next morning, right? So what do we do the next day? Mike and I need something to do. I'm there with my homie Mike. We say, all right, let's look at the Tulum Ruins. Unfortunately, pandemic, Tulum Ruins, they're completely closed down. But you can rent a bike, ride all the way out there and just like look through the
Says who, the
gates.
internet?
Says like the locals. And we're like, man, we're like, that's fucked up. We have this pocket full of acid from Playa, and we really want to see it.
Acid.
We wanted to try this Mexican acid out in the Mayan ancient ruins of Tulum.
Oh, that's like high shit. Like,
Ayahuasca acid.
So we rent the bikes, and we're like, all right, let's go
BC
bike to the Tulum Ruins. And it's a great day. You know, we rent the bikes downtown Tulum, and we make our way out. Instead of taking a right to Tulum Beach, we're going left to the ruins. And sure shit enough, you know, it's blockaded off for people to drive in and out, but you can easily bike around.
Yeah.
So we're biking in. We come up to the ruins, not a soul. No security.
Except for all the dead Aztecs. So.
Except for
all
the
the
millions
actual souls
of actual
the dead
souls
ghosts.
that are roaming around there.
Exactly.
Which I will prelude to.
Foreshadowing. They
Yes.
come into play later.
They come into play. Trust me, there was an eerie feeling there. So we come up to the first like touristy entrance into the ruins, and you can tell it's all blocked off and everything. And we're the only ones around. So I'm like, Mike, let's put the bikes 20, 30 feet into the forest and just scale the walls. Like they're thousands of years old. They're only like 20 feet tall. Like,
Like a rock climber, or is it just
Yeah,
like
Joel's been to, all right, of the Great Peaks, what is it?
I've been to a
Great
few,
Peaks?
You know,
the 7 summits
7 summits.
of the world.
You know, the Great 8 Peaks.
Yeah.
I have summited Kilimanjaro and
What the fuck?
Aconcagua in Argentina.
Chicago, I've never even heard of that, but it sounds very high.
It is. It's the tallest mountain
Kilimanjaro
in
is
the
like the
Western
highest, I
Hemisphere.
thought.
Kilimanjaro is the bunny hill
They didn't teach us that in school. They told us that was like the highest of
in
the highest.
Africa.
Mm.
It is, but Everest is the highest. And then
Yeah.
you've got,
Yeah.
so there's a highest mountain on each continent. I'm trying to get through all of them. But
Name all 7.
so you have Aconcagua in South America. You have Denali in North America. You have Cusco in Australia. You have Vincent in Antarctica. You have Elbrus in Russia, which is Europe. And Kilimanjaro.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So which
Africa.
ones have you
I don't know what
scaled?
that's
You
like.
scaled
I don't know.
two.
Kilimanjaro and Aconcagua. Aconcagua is 24,000
That is
feet,
2 more than we have all seen.
Yeah.
and Kilimanjaro is
Still same height.
19,400.
Wow. So you were
We
like,
climbed the rock in Guatapé.
you were in the ruins and was like, oh, we can definitely
Yeah,
scale this.
so I see these ruins, and I'm like, all right, this is 20 feet. Acid hasn't hit yet. Let's scale this shit.
Oh, you're a
On the
wild
way
one.
down, though.
Mike is my ride or die boy. I met this dude in 4th grade. He has this birthmark of a white mark.
It looks like Rogue from X-Men.
He looks
Oh,
like
shit.
a Marvel character, and I sat down next to him in art class. Was like, bro, cool hairdo.
Stop painting your
These
fucking...
guys have all bonded over hair. They're like, dude, cool hair, yeah. You too, let's go to the barber. I mean, the salon.
I mean,
Together.
the top of the world.
You're actually the top of the
Right.
world.
So, where was I?
You scaling a freaking mountain, or ruin rather.
Oh, ruin.
No,
Fourth
Yeah,
grade,
so we dropped.
BFF.
Okay, so
You're climbing the fucking
this is where I meet my ride or die, right? 4th
Acid's
grade.
kicking in.
Acid's starting to kick in now. And we drop down and we realize we are the only 2 humans, the only 2 alive souls
In the world.
There's a
that
lot
matter
of dead
at this
souls, but the
time.
only alive soul.
And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Like no one's walking around. Like it's just nothing but raw feeling, you know? And it's on the edge of these cliffs that drop down onto a beach, and all the ruins are right there on the cliffs.
We can make it.
Yeah. I can fly right now, so.
And we sit.
Bro, Mike. We can make it.
We got this.
Luckily, we didn't try to go down those steps to the beach, but we ended up Indian style in one of the main ruins.
It's called crisscross applesauce now.
Yeah, it's true.
And that is true. Thank you for.
Wait, as a teacher,
I wanted, yes,
Fair
She
enough.
can confirm.
I can
yeah.
confirm.
confirmed. Crisscross applesauce on acid in the middle of Tulum Ruins while it was closed down.
This is an epic story.
It was pretty crazy. So we get the fuck out of there before we get arrested. And
What? Did
How
some
y'all get
souls
down?
scared you out, or what happened?
it's an eerie
You
feeling.
felt the souls.
You can
Montezuma
feel
definitely
it.
You're
not
already
the
in
answer.
tune.
For sure, it's
You're
not
on
the acid;
acid.
it's the souls.
And also we could see some people taking pictures through the gates that were just like,
us.
they were like tourists or something.
They're like, look at these fucking gringos.
Basically. And we get back over and we get the bikes out of the woods, and now we're biking, and sure shit enough, a police comes through the barricades and they drive past us and we wave. So,
Oh, wow.
Like,
It was
oh,
good
they're white.
timing.
They can't be up to any trouble.
Right.
Hello, goodbye.
exactly.
So, do y'all use any type of equipment when climbing the ruins, or you just like bare hands?
The ruins
bare-
were-
Equipment's called acid.
They're like pyramids, right? So you could climb them.
But I thought they were like.
they were very climbable.
And also,
man, like
traditional
that.
You just
Aztec
wouldn't
names
need
are
to.
short.
Thank you.
You honestly,
no.
you wouldn't
Mayans?
need
I
to.
think they're Mayans.
if
For
it
our
wasn't
listeners,
closed
Joel's
down.
tall as fuck.
How tall are you, Joel?
I am 6'2", and
Tall.
And I climb
Just
mountains.
Yeah.
and I climb mountains.
Yeah,
So
I climb mountains. My name's
these ancient
Joel,
ruins were
6'2",
nothing.
I climb mountains.
It's less impressive for me because it's like divided by 6 versus like
That's his Hinge profile.
Yeah, I was gonna
Joel,
say that.
6'2", climb mountains.
Would you
Drink
be-
IPAs.
which
How to get
for
a
our
lot
listeners,
of
we're all
pandemic
drinking.
pussy.
we are
sure.
we are all
Push and
drinking
pee.
my favorite basement IPA from Atlanta.
Sponsor.
Sponsor.
Thank you, Scofflaw, for being dope.
Scofflaw. Atlanta's brewery.
Damn, so were you able to top that day? I feel like that's almost untoppable.
So
Wait, the police here just
that day
drove by? There was no, like...
it was a pretty good day. No, it was just good timing. You know, I guess it was like a normal drive.
It was
by.
perfect timing. Because they would have saw you on the
Oh
freaking...
yeah, on the top.
Jail.
Like, exactly. So we get out there. We bike back. We bike back to town, and we drop our bikes off, and we're still kind of feeling it a little bit, but we're now drinking beer and trying to get over it. You know,
Yeah, we are.
It's like the night has
How was
definitely.
the ride back on acid?
It was great. It was totally great. You know, just like swinging wide turns.
So you
and
didn't
just
see
like,
anything? You didn't, like, trip out?
It's not like that. It's
Was it
more
a light dose of acid?
Yeah, it was.
Microdose.
And it was a Mexican dose.
Okay.
Whoa, no,
It's
that
not
might
like
have been
from-
racist.
Okay. It was just generic to your typical like
it's
hardcore
watered down
Amsterdam
acid, yeah,
like
yeah.
good shit, you know.
Okay.
For those those
That
that know,
dabble.
they know.
If you know, you know.
So it was a good experience. We dropped the bikes off. It's dark now. The sun is starting to set.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Hi, Smith. And I'm like, Mike, so here's the deal. You're going to wash my back. I'm going to go behind this dumpster and I'm going to take a leak.
Why didn't you pee in a store?
The reason we didn't pee in the store is because
They were tripping on acid, bro.
We
They
didn't-
were tripping on the store.
we didn't have masks. They were being weird about masks.
Oh, you lost your
And
mask
down-
in the ruins.
Right. And the masks were totally gone. And I was actually confused why they were asking for masks. I totally forgot we were
It was
in the middle of a
pandemic.
pandemic. I was
Okay,
like,
and also,
September 2020.
well, mask in Spanish is like topa something, topa boca.
I was
So that's
very
like a
confused.
mouthful.
I was very confused.
Just saying it should be mask enough.
Also, he was on acid, so he had no idea what they were talking
Yeah.
about.
I was like,
Mask?
What
is
topa boca?
what's happening? But I was smart enough to be like, Mike, watch my back. Like,
Fuck your mouth.
watch my back. So I take a piss. I come back around from the dumpster. There's no Mike.
Oh, hell no.
I'm like, Mike. I'm like, dude, Mike.
It's like, well, we were earlier today when Mike was supposed to be a guest. Continue.
I hear these dogs barking from an alley, and he is running out, like briskly walking. And there is a lady and she is shouting at him. He has decided he isn't going to leave me, go behind this alley, and pee on someone's doorstep.
What kind of lookout is that?
I know, terrible lookout.
I was furious.
Worst X-Men.
Yes, I was furious. So there's this camera there that is like, I guess.
Very advanced part of Mexico.
Yeah, there was a camera on the security door, and it lit up.
That was racist.
It lit up right when like he stood there, and someone opened their door while he's peeing on their doorstep. They were pissed.
What the fuck did he have to say?
Can't do that.
Dick out. Hey.
I was pissed. They were pissed. I realized the situation. Well, we're right down the street from a bank with an armed guard. She's yelling for this armed guard. The armed guard is walking towards the scenario. I'm walking away from it.
I don't even know this dude. Don't know this guy forever.
I completely see what's happening. Yo no sé. So it couldn't have been 60 seconds, y'all. There was a village of people around him.
Oh my God.
A village of people, and they were holding him there for the security guard to call the actual police to come.
Oh, God.
Well, we have a rental car. It was right where I dropped off the bikes. It was right behind this building. I see the rental car. I see the scenario. I'm
He's
like,
vroom, vroom.
but I'm like, I have time to swing in there. And I'm like,
Throw the door open. He tucks and rolls, and we are out of here.
So I've visioned that. I'm like, I can swing in there, throw the
acid
door
confidence
open.
is hitting. Like,
It's
I got this.
Yeah.
So I
I
go to
got my Batmobile. I'm gonna swing in.
So I go to this little Toyota Yarvis, turquoise blue.
Right.
Like, Mike, I got you.
I come squealing around this fucking turn like a bat out of hell. I throw
In reality, it's like Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, Joe's like, Mike, I got you.
Not the entire
So
so funny.
smoothly
town
coming.
is
That's
outside.
No, I actually was like a bat out of hell, like 60 miles an
As
hour.
far as you know, your perception
Yeah,
was that you were bad out of hell. But
I squeal on the brakes, the e-brake, and throw the door open. I go, Miguel, Entrada, Miguel, get in this fucking car.
Entrada.
And he's like a deer in headlights. He's standing there, and he's like, just giving me this crazy look, this crazy blank
Probably
stare.
Joe's like,
And the real Miguel is confused.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the villagers are like, what?
they're surrounding him. So at this point, the village has come around the car, and this is downtown Tulum. I don't know. It's like we're not
That's
in the middle of a village,
We're not in the
but
jungle anymore.
Okay, we're in the city.
but
It's a lot
we're
of
in the
rich white
neighborhood,
hipsters.
and they're starting to videotape the license plates,
What?
right? So I look at Miguel one more time. I know he's not moving, and I get in the car and I fucking take off into the jungle to the Zapato.
Oh, you left him?
I had
Never saw Miguel again.
to. I had to
Oh,
leave this
Mike
idiot.
is his Hispanic name is Miguel.
All right, let me give you a little. Let me interject real quick. I heard this story the other night because I've been trying to get Joe on the podcast for a minute, and then
Why have you been resistant, Joel?
he's been busy. He's been busy.
Climbing mountains and shit.
Climbing the mountain. He's on mountain number 3. But so Miguel came over. Mike is what it's short for, and or Spanish for.
Short for or
Translation.
But Mike told a little bit of his side story, and Mike, the reason he didn't get in with Joel is because he's like, I had it in my mind, I'm going to pay him off. That's what he said to us. He was like, 2 days ago.
So before we get into the scenario, we go to an ATM and pull out all the cash necessary to meet up with these beautiful Playa del Carmen girls at the cenote mañana.
The money was for flowers.
Tomorrow.
The money was for flowers. They're going to buy them a bunch of flowers.
Necesito la dinero.
So Mike did have a fucking plethora of cash on him, unfortunately. And I leave him because he was a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
And I get to the lodge and I'm like, motherfucker's gonna get
Having smashed like 30 cars.
And no, the car ends up safe
Joel has a
at the
CBD.
lodge.
Wait, CBD? No.
CDL.
I have my CBD pin on me. You're right, but I also have my CDLA.
Yeah, Joel's
acronym.
hammer could drive that shit home and backwards.
But me sober fucking wrecked the shit out of my Mexican car, broke the radiator.
There you go. So he ends up coming back to the lodge later that night in a cab, and he had lost all of our fucking money. Of course.
Wait, your money was also with Miguel?
Well, yeah,
Wait, let me ask you another little detail I learned
This
from
is
the
for
other
the-
night. How'd you get into the property again?
So usually properties and Airbnbs in the jungle are surrounded by barbed wire and fences. They're really cool inside, but like you really need a key. Here I am scaling a fucking wall again, and
A
Hop over
barbed
the barbed
wire?
well, there I had enough length to get over the barbed wire and to hang around it.
6'2", girls.
So I'm literally dangling over the barbed wire, and the Airbnb manager comes out.
Guess that's all.
He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, my boy Miguel,
You got pussy.
He'll be on the news
I
later.
banged him.
Jarvez, no say. Like, he was like, Gringo, hop down. So he lets me in. Mike comes in with the keys.
At the same
At the same time, shortly thereafter.
He's like, you left me for nothing. Here I am 5 seconds later.
Yes, and I continue to yell at Miguel. I was really like, why the fuck did you not get into the vehicle?
I had this. It was like, because you were not in a car.
You're on your hands and knees asking me to get on your back.
Get on my shoulders.
I'm really like on a bicycle, like.
Yeah.
But no. So I was pissed at him, but it all was fine. He just got he got the old shakedown, and we had to go back to the ATM that morning, and we ended up meeting with the Playa del Carmen girls at the cenote, having a
Bought them the flowers we got all the
time.
cash for.
It was such an amazing time, and
This is a love story. I knew
Right.
it. I
Yeah.
know, but
This whole time.
Whole time.
and that's
And now we're married.
and no.
Exactly.
And now,
now she has a green card.
Right.
I wish I remember her name.
Let's talk about what that was for our listeners.
Fucking
Or
dog
Janet
farts,
farted.
man.
Janet fart.
I know.
Sorry.
Joe, do you
Oh,
smell
God,
it?
Janet.
Janet,
It
come
never
on,
happens
girlfriend.
unless we're on the podcast.
That's
Look at
Usually
Joe.
not very
that little
spacious.
Yorkie poo.
Just a Yorkie.
Dang, that was a wild ass day.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah,
That was all
it
the
was-
same day.
That was during the
No,
pandemic.
it was like a 2 day. It was like a 2-3 day thing.
Ooh.
That craziness. But that day, yeah, the ruins,
That's crazy.
the acid.
Any love
You got
connections
photos
with
of
the
this shit?
girls?
I mean,
Tulum's not like super prostitute-y though, so
no,
y'all had
these-
to dig for these.
these weren't prostitutes. These were English teachers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they were.
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Hey, they were. They just
Yeah, it's just.
You know,
in the bed though.
No, there was no money given to them.
Oh, okay.
of course.
They just showed us a good time, and we showed them a good time.
Love it.
Reciprocity.
So I guess moral of the story is always have a little bit of shakedown cash, and
or a lot of it.
or a lot of it. Just don't have
So
it in
let
the
them know that you
same
have a lot of it.
in the same place.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
also, like, have separate pockets.
He has to pay the city
And
off.
don't be scared to have a good time.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. All right.
Have y'all seen Locked Up Abroad though? Because that shit is not.
That'll make you scared to have a good time.
Yeah,
But, you know, also,
right.
like, you know.
I wonder, did he break a law by pissing on her doorstep?
I mean,
The disrespect.
Totally.
I was furious. I still to this
goddamn
day,
Miguel.
because I'm a traveler, and I decided to take him out of his shell.
He's like, you don't know how to act. Can't take you nowhere.
Exactly. So now it was a hard lesson for him. I had to learn my lessons
Yeah,
in
so
Spain
France,
and
your boy.
France.
Wait, there's a lesson learned in Spain? Next episode.
Oh, I've got plenty of stories. That was my 40th country.
Oh, high five.
4-0?
4-0 was.
I'm at 36. I'm catching up.
3-6 Mafia.
It's caught up with my age always. I'm 35
Mahia?
years old, 36 countries. I'm trying to like
The
just
one per
stay
year?
ahead. Yeah,
You're never going to catch up to Joel that way.
I know.
Well, Costa Rica was just this
That's one of my
Christmas, and I
favorite
was
places.
top of the canopies howling with the howler monkeys on acid. So that's another
How
one.
do you find acid everywhere?
You should only use it for the most epic of times.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Not some normal
Yeah.
shit.
I'm not like, I don't normally do acid.
It's like if I'm out
I've
the
done it a
country.
handful of times.
I don't
and
do
it's a
acid
cool
all the
place.
time, but when I do,
Exactly.
I'll be on
it's
top.
that fucking quarantine shit, right?
All right, well, hey, guys,
Well, that was
that's
awesome.
been another episode of...
Once
Look
Upon
at
a BNB.
outro Ian over here. Okay, outro Ian.
If you can
This
leave, okay, for real. If you can leave listeners with 3 things, since you are an avid traveler and a wild traveler, what would you tell them to stay safe?
I would say to try to adapt to the climate as best as possible, meaning the atmosphere. Don't look like you have...
Look like you belong.
Yeah, don't look like you're
And
in trouble with your, head in your ass, like walking around like an idiot, like
Holding your phone up,
Yeah.
navigating with your like
Asking-
earbuds in. and
asking
shit,
dumb
like,
questions in English where they're not going to understand you. Like just
See, my one rule when traveling is like before you speak to anybody, ask them in their language, do they speak English?
Right.
You can't just walk up to somebody in their native land and start speaking English
Right.
and expect them to
Learn this
answer.
shit, dude.
Like,
Come on.
what if somebody just walked up to you and spoke Chinese like
So-
on the street? You'd
and
be
like
what?
yeah, France is a good example because if you just speak a little bit
If you
of
try
French,
at all, they
they
like,
will
cool.
respect you. If you're just like,
Excuse me.
yeah, like in English, just blabbering, they're
They'll
gonna
act
hate
like
you.
even if they understand you, they'll act like they don't because they're like,
So
"Fuck you."
try to respect the culture you're in. Know a little bit about it before you show up.
That's a
I
good
would
one.
say put your money in different spots and smartly have enough for little shakedowns if you like to have a good time.
True,
and then
guys.
Right.
also don't do the resort tourist bus.
Oh, do
thing.
Once Upon a
Like,
BNB instead?
Get your Airbnbs down, get your car down, and follow advice of locals.
Absolutely.
Wing it. It's so much better.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Joel, for joining us. That was definitely an epic story.
Oh yeah, thank you guys for having me.
I feel like we're gonna have you back because you've got more to share.
That was just a little.
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the mouth.
That was just a little. That was just a little something from this pandemic. But I've been doing this a long time, so.
Okay.
Well, guys, tune in next time to Once Upon a BNB for your craziest, wildest, wackiest travel stories. I'm
Outro
Ann.
stealer.
It's Mr. Steele outro.
And it's with a bang.
Right, outro Ian. This is also Maha and Janet. We're here.
Okay, in your turn.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it.
The end. That was it. All right. Bye. Bye.
Damn, that was a good story.